things. I mean, yeah.
And I like your introduction to me. You sort of attempting to anticipate my stance on this. I think that, listening to the sound bites that were played and listening to the key questions that you asked, the question about what this signals, whether this signals an adequate fight against Galamsey. And so the answer in the negative is what the both of you alluded to in your remarks, that because this is just one person, one kingpin, it might be good, it may be good, but it may not necessarily be adequate in the holistic fight against Galamsey. I think that if you flip that response, and we say that the example being maybe 5 or 10 kingpins, obviously politically affiliated or associated, were also convicted, the answer to that question would be the same. Why am I saying that? Because of how this matter, and by extension, every matter that comes up in Ghana is doused in two colors of two dyes, MPP blue and green, MPP NDC. And it's unfortunate, and in my opinion, it's very pathetic that the political class continues to do this and the citizenry permit this. Okay, now touching on the subject, and so do you see that we cannot answer the question because of how
it's been colored? It's already
exactly
poison.
And therein lies another question: should it even matter, though? Because if you listen to Dr. Engineer Ashigbe, from where he comes from, and that should be the position of many Ghanaians. We shouldn't really care what coloring the person who has been convicted wears. We shouldn't really care, because when the destruction of our environment was happening, continues to happen, I'm not sure the impact on us had any coloration. I'm not sure it mattered whether it was done by an MPP or an NDC person. And so for me, this is a good signal, but how we use it as citizens will be the test on us. Okay, so are we going to be satisfied? Because the civil society and a lot of citizens and journalists had been calling for the arrest, investigation, and prosecution, and hopefully conviction of a kingpin. Engineer said, follow the money. Because consistently we saw young boys and girls, all dusty, bending over in the Galamsey pits, being arrested. Okay. And I'll segue into my second point, being arrested. And those were sort of displayed as the evidence of the fight against Galamsey. Okay. So if you come from that, it makes this very significant.
Correct.
And the criticism with the previous arrest that we saw were that you were arresting and prosecuting people who were not decision makers, people who were not financiers of this rot called Galamsey. So that makes this significant. To the subject of the rule of law, the application of the law, you see, the wisdom, I won't call it the wisdom, but I don't want to say craftiness, perhaps.
What were I trying to use? Then we can help.
So the intelligence, maybe I'll leave it at intelligence. The intelligence of the political class should not be underestimated by citizens. Okay.
Okay.
It's beautiful when we hear a kingpin, a bigwig, somebody who is highly associated with a political party, arrested, and the conversation now delves into the rule of law, whether we are applying the law fairly and equally. Okay. Where was that conversation when we were merely arresting boys and girls, young men and women who were digging up on somebody's instruction, on somebody's payroll? Where was that conversation? Okay. We have an interesting way, or we're observing an interesting way that the political elite frame things in the semblance
when it suits them.
When it suits them, in the semblance of an equal application of the law, but within a certain context, which is in their interest. But inadvertently, and if you read between the lines, they are not asking for the equal application of the law, because if they were, then there shouldn't be a problem. They are asking for, rather, and this is my view, an unequal application of the law so that it suits their persons, their interest. But would we have made that argument?
So long as it's the small boys who are being arrested and they are
we wouldn't have made such arguments for
anything.
them.
But once it's a big person within either side,
yes,
then they take it.
It's a kind of subterfuge. Okay, we are making it seem as though the law is being applied, and I'm not going into the merits of it.
I know.
We are making it appear that the law is being or has been applied in this particular kingpin or bigwig or politically affiliated person in an unfair way, whilst we are rather inadvertently suggesting that that person should be given some unique treatment,
so
some special
if I hear
treatment.
you right, you're saying this even NDC MPP thing is fake. The real thing is
it's a
big
ruse.
versus small. So you're saying even though they are making noise because this today is MPP, the real problem is that because it is a high up person, it's an issue for MPP at this time. But if it's a low class person, neither will be even concerned. So the real fight is not between the two political elite. It's actually between the political elite and the people at the bottom.
Excellent.
For example, 2 days ago, a guy was jailed for 12 years or 10 years. Initially, the report was for stealing a phone. Later, I realized it was robbery. So when I saw this, I said, how do you jail somebody 10 years for stealing a phone? Later on, I realized that the reportage was a bit simplistic. And this guy explained to me that robbery is a serious offense. Be that as it may, there are many, many lower people who are jailed for lesser crimes very regularly. And it does not even generate the angst around, why should somebody go to 10 years prison for stealing a phone? Assuming that was true. But because this guy is a huge guy in politics, both NDC and people have something to say. And people will say, why have you jailed the MP? And will say, yeah, we are showing that we are fighting corruption or whatever. So,
in fact, you've
made it's a very powerful point you are making. But I think he wants to make a small comeback.
If I may conclude,
because when he turns, continue. When he turns his head like that, I know he wants to say something.
Oh no, Sky, please hold on.
No, Sky, when he turns his head like that,
so let me conclude.
Oh no, when I was inviting me,
no, but don't come.
When he turns his head, I know.
Reject the invitation. No, Bernard, I think that you have eloquently. I'm even wondering if I should continue.
Continue.
And that's what I've said. Explained or sort of given a certain analogy with the theft and robbery case that you cite of what I'm trying to say. Because the question then is, what is the purpose? Now you're distracting me. No, but the question I proceed to is, what is the purpose of perhaps, for want of a better expression, the hullabaloo around this, okay? Where you have one side saying it is unfair, another side saying whatever. What is the purpose? And which is what you brilliantly gleaned from what I was saying, that even that is not legitimate in itself. Because, and I'm speaking from the citizen's point of view, and my analysis is from the citizen's point of view, because as citizens, we get lost and caught up in these, the rancor between the two sides, okay? And we forget that at the end of the day, nobody is defending you when you get into trouble. When the ordinary man, when the man of straw gets into trouble, it's between him and his God. He's not going to get thousands of people congregate at a place and protest for his release or etc. against the verdict. He's not going to get big wigs in certain political and governance spaces speak on his behalf. So you may want to be careful how you respond to this, because it's not for any reason that the thereafter of the judgment, we had press conferences here and commentary on both sides of the political divide. NDC is in government, but remember that they also remain a political party. In fact, the political party which is in government is even stronger. So let the purpose, that's my view, the purpose of what is going on should not be lost on us. And then you talk about the political insurance. I'm saying it's the political insurance.
Expression.
And you see, when you ask the question, you made a certain addition to the question or the statement that you made about what it means that somebody who there's proven evidence against for committing an offense will only face the rigor of the law when their party is not in power. Listening to that is the highest form of travesty of any kind of governance. I'm hoping that you remember what you said, but now think about it. We are saying that crime is politically colored and that anybody can commit an offense, but depending on the political coloring of their appearance,
he may get away with it.
They may or may not get away with it. Can citizens then sit and wait? Because NDC is the party in power, and so we will see MPP persons being prosecuted and if found guilty, convicted. So we're going to sit down and wait for the MPP to return to power before NDC officials who are alleged to have engaged in crime and proven against them. If you're a citizen, think about this. You are being taken for a ride. You are being taken for a ride. You see, this in itself cements their position as the governors, as the political ruling class. Okay? They are inequitably applying the law to themselves. But that won't happen to you. Even though you sit in your chair and take a side and decide that, I'm going to go with this. No, what MPP is saying is true. No, what MPP. We don't need to be on either side of the divide. We need
to be like Kenashigbe. Basically, let's stand for the side of the environment.
You need to be on the side of you, the citizen, which is the environment. Because when the environment is, when the environment is degraded, I'm not sure the impact looks at your face. Are you MPP or NDC before there's an impact of the environmental degradation on you? That's not the case.
I just wanted to add something to what you said briefly. I remember on the way of case of political insurance, sometimes you will have maybe 3 people arrested for an offense within the same like crime or alleged crime. Maybe Bernard, Kakra, and Caleb. Maybe Bernard is the spokesperson of the party for something. Caleb is just maybe a civil servant. All right. Now, the party may even bail Bernard, or the lawyers of the party will go there to look for Bernard because Bernard is the one who is the spokesperson for the party. But Caleb, in the same category of offense, maybe if it's the same offense, allegedly, they were arrested together, but nobody even remembers him because he was probably just working for the Ministry of Foreign Affairs or something, and he was caught in the line of duty. So because he's not insured himself politically, so I'm using that to say we may be also creating a situation where people entrench themselves in partisanship because people will mess up for them. But if you don't entrench yourself in partisanship, nobody will cry for you, because even though you may have been serving your state as a civil servant, so maybe you were like working at Ministry of Education as a civil servant, right? And you were caught in the crosshairs of some political issue. So maybe the guy you have been arrested with is a political guy. If you check it, the lawyers will even come to court,
Bernard,
and you won't even get any.
Thank you for this
Bernard,
point.
with the greatest
Sky, if I may conclude, if I may conclude, because I was on. I've not finished my point. You came in for a brief. So if I may conclude, you see, and so you drive. You begin driving my point home. This example you cite, okay. It's pointing to a danger in the kind of political governance, the governance that we are practicing. Okay, we are, and this culture is being led by the political class. We are creating a sub-state, okay, where you either have to belong, your citizenship has to be qualified by blue or green, NDC or NPP, such that if you don't belong, then you are not going to be entitled to certain benefits that ordinarily you should be entitled to as a citizen. And I like the example that you made, because that brings me to my conclusion about the danger of the kind of society we are creating with the kind of politics that we are running. So that the fair example, if I were the offender with a political affiliation, I get all the big shot lawyers coming, the spokesperson speaking on my behalf. If he doesn't have any political affiliation, why is he treated less? Why does he not get the same treatment, or even better? Or why do I get it? We should all be treated equally. The law should apply equally before us. Certain resources should be made available to all of us, because even if you can't afford the services of a lawyer, the state should be able to help you. But we are gradually creating a sub-state where you must belong to either the MPP or the NDC to qualify your citizenship, or the rest of us who do not belong are going to be ghosts in this part of the town, where whatever happens to you because you do not either belong to the MPP or the NDC. That is not the Ghana that our forefathers foresaw. That is not the Ghana that Osajifo Nkrumah foresaw. That is not the Ghana that we believe we should exist in. And gradually we are getting there. The things that I should benefit as a citizen should be due me. Okay. As well as my obligations. I should not get a nudge because of my association with a certain political party.
And I want to clarify your qualification that you are not going into the merits of the case, because, so Sky, just to clarify, we are discussing the optics around the reaction, because I have not even invited you yet to even break down the case. So we are not making a legal point on the substance of whether justice has been done or not. We are discussing.
I don't think that.
In fact, the question was the optics of a party chairman of MPP in Ashanti, who is a big wig, being jailed for galamsey. That's what we are discussing. So I just want to know that because you may feel like we are over prejudicing the discussion in the way we are going without